Before I do this discussion today, if you have not seen Dragon Ball Super Episode 122, and if you don't want to be spoiled about what's going to happen in Dragon Ball Super Episode 123, I suggest that you tune off this video unless you want to get spoiled, because this video will contain major and potential spoilers about what we're about to see. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. As today I will get into this video and talk about all of the evidence that we have gotten so far as to what Vegeta's new form or what Vegeta's new power-up will be. So let's get this party started. So when I initially heard about Vegeta's new form, the only thing that really hinted at it to me was the fact that in the preview for episode 123, Goku himself was actually stating that Vegeta is getting a new type of power-up specifically, and if you also look at the spoilers for episode 123, credit to both Herms, Kenzaro, and Geekdom for pointing this out, it's also said that Vegeta is getting a power beyond God and beyond Blue. So essentially, if you take that without a grain of salt, it's pretty much saying that Vegeta is going to get some new type of power-up. However, I think what we have to really differentiate is the difference between a power-up and the difference between a new actual form. But based off of what Goku said in the outro, that was already the biggest in-your-face indicator as to what Vegeta is about to get. But there was something that I actually think gives us way more evidence in this entire case, guys, and it's actually dealing with the outro image. So I was talking to my friend Maria, Miss DBZ Babe, and a lot of other friends the other night on Discord, and what we notice is that when you actually analyze Vegeta in the new outro of Dragon Ball Super standing next to Goku, there's something very interesting here. So when you look at Goku specifically, Goku has silverish eyes and has like that Ultra Instinct tint to his hair. So clearly they're trying to give Goku that Ultra Instinct feel with that new outro image. And when you compare this to Vegeta, Vegeta's pupils seem to be dilated differently the way they normally are. His hair is darker as a Super Saiyan Blue than it normally is. And when you compare it next to Goku, the fact that they're doing a side-by-side with both Vegeta and Vegeta being in a new looking type of Super Saiyan Blue compared to Goku being in an Ultra Instinct form, why would they just make a normal Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta stand next to an Ultra Instinct Goku? They're clearly possibly hinting at something here about Vegeta's new form, because there would be no other reason to make him stand next to an Ultra Instinct looking Goku. And if it was just a general thing, they would just make Goku in his base form and Vegeta in his base form. And I think the biggest comparison to look at this is the fact that a lot of Dragon Ball fans have often theorized about the outros of Dragon Ball. If you go back multiple outros ago, you guys would remember that with Goku and Gohan being the two final characters in one of the outros, a lot of people were theorizing that this would mean that Goku and Gohan would be the final two characters that would be left to fight in the Tournament of Power for Universe 7. So although this isn't saying for 100% fact that Vegeta is definitely 100% going to be the last character, I do find it interesting that his appearance has definitely changed based off of the outro image itself. And another thing I wanted to also show you guys is to actually give you a side-by-side comparison between a Super Saiyan Blue Goku and a Super Saiyan Bluish Vegeta, whatever you want to call it. So my friend Super Jaiyan actually pointed out something here, that when you look directly at what Goku looks like in the outro for episode 123, Goku is in his Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken state, and when you compare both characters, Vegeta has a completely different type of aura than what Goku actually has. And more interestingly in this entire equation is the fact that if you also do a side-by-side comparison, Vegeta's hair is noticeably darker blue than comparing to Goku's Super Saiyan Blue. And the difference between this and the outro, as I mentioned before, is that when you look at the outro specifically, Vegeta's hair is obviously blue there, but when you actually do a side-by-side comparison to another Super Saiyan Blue, the difference is clearly indicated significantly more in the outro for episode 123 and for the preview itself. So I definitely think that looking at all of this, we can definitely say that Vegeta is definitely looking very different in this Super Saiyan Blue state as opposed to the lighter hair that we've seen with Super Saiyan Blue before. Now, The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is this one scene here where we go back to Dragon Ball Super and we get a scene where Vegeta was fighting against Jiren, and it seems like every single thing completely slowed down when he was fighting against him, and Vegeta is dodging all of Jiren's blows. Now, the weird thing about all of this, guys, is that what we've known about Ultra Instinct from what Whis has stated is the fact that essentially you're trying to train your body in order to move on its own and react on its own. And I'm not saying that this is in any way Ultra Instinct. However, it is interesting to point out that when you look at Jiren as a character, Jiren is significantly faster than what Vegeta is. So why would all of a sudden Vegeta, who we would perceive in his Super Saiyan Blue state, would obviously be able to dodge Jiren's blows significantly easier? Well, this is hinting at the fact that Vegeta in episode 122 was probably going through the progressions of getting into the form that we would be seeing in the upcoming episodes. And obviously this would explain a lot as to how Vegeta obviously would be able to get into Ultra Instinct or this new Super Saiyan Blue state with obviously fighting against a more powerful character. I'm going to touch on this more in a second here. But it is interesting to also note that every single time that the Ultra Instinct is activated, there seems to be some type of sequence in which Goku, from the other character that we've even seen use Ultra Instinct, has a moment where he just deflects something or dodges a hit in a very abnormal fashion. We've seen this where Goku jumps over Kefla's energy blast. We see this where Goku is fighting against Jiren. We see this where Goku is deflecting Kefla's energy blast. So by looking at all of this, I'm not saying it's Ultra Instinct once again, but it is interesting to point out that it's definitely showing signs of something similar to Ultra Instinct. And a lot of people have been theorizing in the comment section that there's going to be a difference between Goku's Ultra Instinct and Vegeta's Ultra Instinct, where Goku has more of the defensive type of Ultra Instinct and Vegeta has more of the offensive type of Ultra Instinct from how we saw him fighting against Jiren, because Goku was actually struggling to use the offensive capabilities of Ultra Instinct when he was fighting against Kefla several episodes ago. So looking at that direct comparison there, that's definitely something we have to look at. And the biggest thing that I think a lot of people are definitely going to talk about in the upcoming episodes is the fact that Vegeta had a very interesting moment in episode 122. Now, I made a joke on Twitter saying that everybody's going to theorize that because Vegeta's eyes were silver for one quick second on the ground, that would indicate that Vegeta would somehow get Ultra Instinct because he was fighting against Jiren. But I don't think the eyes have anything to do with this, because if you go back to when Goku fought Hit for the second time, and when it was perceived that Goku was dead, Goku's eyes also turned into a very grayish silverish color too. So I don't think the eyes specifically have anything to do with Ultra Instinct. However, the one thing that I did notice about all of this is that there's one direct similarity between this and Goku getting Ultra Instinct. If you guys remember, when Goku went Ultra Instinct against Jiren, the Spirit Bomb explosion and Goku also facing off an extremely powered up Kefla somehow triggered Goku to enter this form, as Whis explained. And because of this, and if you factor in that in this episode Vegeta was heavily blasted by Jiren, and Vegeta is also fighting against a very powerful character, Vegeta, if he went through the very similar training that Goku did when he was training with Whis, if he somehow also encounters an opponent or an attack that puts him near the brink, or where he has to push his will in a similar manner, this can also trigger Vegeta's variant or his type of Ultra Instinct or this new Super Saiyan Blue state, because obviously Jiren is a very powerful character as well, and that can have an impact on how Vegeta's body would obviously react to all of this. So I definitely think when you do a direct comparison with Vegeta facing off against Jiren the same way that Goku did with Kefla and Jiren, this is clearly indicating that Vegeta is definitely getting something that is pushing him near the brink. And even when you look at what the spoilers were saying about episode 122 and even 123, it was indicating that Vegeta is going to be injured from his fight against Jiren. But yet, from what we see, Vegeta just manages to get right back up. So clearly, Vegeta is reacting a lot quicker to his body being damaged than a lot of us would have expected. And this could obviously lead up to what we're getting with Ultra Instinct. So ultimately, guys, I think the way we should look at this is that there's clearly a lot of evidence about Vegeta getting a brand new form. Goku was way more obvious, and we've seen this coming ever since, you know, Goku was training with Whis and Vegeta. But as I said before, Vegeta went through extremely similar training to Goku when they were both training against Whis, so theoretically, if Goku were to get Ultra Instinct, Vegeta should not get something that's not at least to the bare minimum similar to what Goku has, considering that the both of them were doing the exact same type of training, and Vegeta was also fighting against the same character that in a way helped Goku trigger his Ultra Instinct form, and is also stronger than Kefla. So, with everything else said, guys, that's been my evidence for Vegeta's new form. Let me know all of your thoughts and theories in the comment section below as to what you're expecting in the upcoming weeks. And with everything else said, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.